What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And today I want to talk about the trailer of Assassin's Creed Shadows, also known as Assassin's Creed Red. Now, there is a con for the title for this game, and I really think that they should have stuck with Red because I feel like that Red really brought out the thematic of this game. While Shadows does include that type of generic aesthetic to any Assassin's Creed game because assassins work from the shadows, and I understand that. But Ubisoft, Quebec, you are making a great mistake of calling this Shadows. Do not call a game Shadows when we already know where this game is going to go. I would maybe probably highly suggest going back to Red because I think Red just makes more sense. It provides a more context and the feel of what this game really is. It's going back to feudal Japan. And I think that's a smart idea and going back to that. But point being, here's the thing. While I do believe the trailer of this game might actually do it a little bit justice, but here's the thing. I do not like the way how this is. I feel like that this game is not going to go the way how I want it to go. Because for what I understand, you play as two protagonists rather than just one. You play as a shinobi and a samurai, okay? They are going the syndicate route, okay? And not only that, is that both of these characters are going to have their own unique different type of backstories, and how those backstories are going to have fate intertwine within both of these characters, and how it could potentially build up to what we know as the Assassin's Brotherhood from Assassin's Creed Origins, okay? That is one thing I will readily admit here when it comes to this game, though, too, is that the map of this game, for what I understand, it's going to be similar to that of Origins map, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, but it's going to be the very, for what I understand as well, it's going to be the same exact size, if I remember correctly now. Okay, so once we got that out of the way, is I really want to talk about this game more so because other than like what I saw in the trailer and going through the breakdown for the trailer as well from the creative developers and the director of this game, is that they all make some really interesting points as to where this game is going to go from its seasonal of basically like the seasonal aspects of this game, because each season in this game apparently is going to have some disadvantages and advantages to your unique type of play style, whether if you're playing as the shinobi or the samurai, which I actually really think that's quite cool. I really like that type of system. But the thing is that I feel with each of that, if they're going to have that seasonal mechanic system in this game, and how it's going to really fluctuate from each protagonist, like now Naoi or Naoe or Yasuke, it's going to be fairly interesting of how they're going to implement that, and it's the reason why I'm still skeptical about this game. While I am excited for this game as well, but what makes me so skeptic about this game in general, though, too, is the fact that I don't like. While I am liking what I'm seeing in the trailer, and for how much I walk and how I really got the perspective on the breakdown as they were discussing about like the seasonal mechanic system of this game and how it's going to really give it much more of a benefit of trying to do it in certain types of assassination missions or each mission in general. And like I said, I think that mechanic is going to do fairly well for this game. Now, I think what really is going to make this game, I think what they really should do for this game, though, too, I mean, not coming from a professional here, but it's the fact, coming from Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla, I loved Origins. I played through Odyssey for the first time, and while I did enjoy it, I actually ended up finishing it, and I tried to go into New Game Plus on Odyssey. It was abysmal. I'm telling you, Odyssey does not play well in New Game Plus because you're going through that grind again. And it's the fact that I believe that when it came to Origins, though, Origins had a better grind system from that of Odyssey and Valhalla because Valhalla had a massive grind as well. I believe that in Origins, though, the grind was not as tedious as it was in Odyssey and Valhalla. But mind you, it's all my personal opinion, of course. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like I really want to have Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I'm gonna call it Red, Assassin's Creed Red, because it just sounds so much better in my personal opinion. And there's one thing I really do want to add here, though, too. I've watched ACG's live podcast with other two people, and he even said that, and he actually even mentioned that he said that why did they have to change it to Shadows is beyond me. I think Assassin's Creed Red provides it a more strong context as to where this game is going to go, because this game is going to the feudal Japan, which is absolutely amazing. My personal opinion, if they really want to tackle this aesthetic, and which they are going to do with this game, is that, like I said again, I think that they should go back to just Assassin's Creed Red. But again, it just provides that better context of the thematic feel or visual feel of the game of Assassin's Creed Red, and I think that's where I just think that it's stronger in gravitas form. And so I don't know. I'm just putting my own opinion out there, or preference. But anyways, okay. So what I really want to say is that I'm kind of curious of what the perk systems is going to be like, or the skill system. What I do not want to see, if they are going to go a little bit more of an origin side other than the map, that's great. Then I'm sold. But here's one thing I want to see in the demo that's going to be coming out of June of this year in 2024 from Ubisoft Forward, is that I want to see how the mechanics are going to be like when it comes to the settlement, much from Valhalla. And I didn't like the settlement system very much in Valhalla, but it was cool and unique, but I didn't really much like it at all at the same time, so I'm not going to give my reason for it. But I just thought that it felt a little all over the place. I do not want Assassin's Creed Red to do this, because I feel like that if they're going to do that for what Valhalla did, then it's just going to be immediate turnoff for me. So I'm just saying, it's like if you're going to have a leveling system in this game, and being able to have different types of perks for each of those skills, for the samurai side for Yasuke, or for the shinobi side for Naoi, it's just that I think that you should make the skills far more different. It should be far more different of these protagonists, because if they're going to be the same, that's another turnoff I will have for it, because it's just like, it's the reason why I'm so skeptical for this game. While this game does look beautiful from the trailer and from the breakdown, it's just that there are so many different types of elements for what I've been seeing through the breakdown and through the trailer. I think that this game could, I wouldn't say fail, but maybe falter in some certain types of aspects of the game and the concepts of it. But however, I think that's where this game is. I think that this game could be potentially strong if they are going to do something that is going to be other than having it being similar to that from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. But it's the fact I really want to see what the demo is going to be able to provide us, and how the game is really going to utilize the systems of its gameplay structure, what the parkour might be. And that's one thing I really want to discuss here, though, too, with the parkour systems in this game. That's one thing that's really going to really make me skeptic about it, though, too, or optimistic in a certain way, is that if they're going to have a really good parkour system, especially for the shinobi side rather than the samurai with Yasuke, I really think that they should either beef it up a little bit and being it more acrobatic in a certain way, because you're playing as a female shinobi, not a male. But it really doesn't matter, because for what I understand in folklore or mythology, shinobis are that agile and nimble type of character. And that's one thing I really loved about Mirage, and it's what I really thoroughly enjoyed about, like the older Assassin's Creeds, much like the Ezio trilogy or like Black Flag. Now, Black Flag's parkour system was astounding. And so I want to go into Syndicate here, because this is where I'm saying why Assassin's Creed Red is, I think it will be good, but it's the fact that I want to see how the utilization or the the switch up is going to be like between Yasuke and Naoi or Naoe, and I don't know if it could be automatic or you had to switch it manually. I think it could be automatic rather than switching it by yourself. But I really hope that they can give you that type of implementation in this. And so, but then again, it's that this is the reason why I'm so hesitant and very skeptical for this title is because we don't know what we're going to be seeing or getting from the demo in June from Ubisoft Forward. And so I'm really kind of curious how this game is really going to go. I'm sure that they're going to be doing. I know that this game comes out this year, November 15th of 2024, but that is 6 months from now, and so they can do a lot of different functionalities. They can do a lot of polishing up. They could be doing a lot of. They could do a lot within that time frame, and so that's what I'm saying. It's like I think that's what I really loved about Origins specifically, rather than Odyssey and Valhalla, is that that game was just simply amazing. It was not because of playing as a independent or individual person like Bayek from Siwa. It was the fact that it was ancient Egypt. I would say I think ancient Egypt and Odyssey, like the Greek mythology and the Norse mythology and Valhalla, all those settings were absolutely beautiful. I think when it comes to the only thing about Assassin's Creed, other than having unique stories from themselves, but it's the fact that it's the setting that really provides this whole entire series as a whole, and how they were able to bring these settings to life in video game format from different types of eras, and it's astounding. And it's the reason why I'm just like, like I said, I really want to know where this game is going to go from within the setting of feudal Japan. I know a lot of people wanted this, but there is another game that is very similar to that, or actually 2 games similar to this, is that Rise of the Ronin and then Ghost of Tsushima. Now, while Ghost of Tsushima to me does feel like an Assassin's Creed game, even though it does not have the Hidden Blade, because if you think about it, Ghost of Tsushima is kind of like an Assassin's Creed, but without the Hidden Blade, because if you think about it, when you're playing that game and when you're assassinating people, you either use the dagger that you have that is provided to Jin Sakai, or using the samurai swords. That's another great way. It was the same exact feel to that Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I think that's why Black Flag was so heavily critically acclaimed, because a lot of people love that game. I absolutely love Black Flag, because it was not because of an Assassin's Creed title. It was because you played as a fucking pirate, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just like, they did a really good job with that. And so I'm just saying, it's like, I really want to know what this game is really going to entail at this year's Ubisoft Forward. And so all I can say is this, is just that I really want to know what the whole entire systems are able to provide for this game with the demo. I want to see gameplay. I want to see the parkour systems. I want to see the difference between Yasuke's combat style and Naoi's combat style, being the shinobi and then the samurai. I want to know what the skills are going to be like, or the perks, that sort of thing. And so I think that's where, again, why I am very skeptical right now, because I know it doesn't come out in the next 6 months, but point being, I think everyone has a right to be skeptical about this game. And so I just think that it's okay to be hesitant. It's okay to be skeptical about this game, much like me. And so what I really want to put here in final is that the demo needs to bring it justice for me. Because if the demo does not do it justice for me, I will be skipping this title and play the older versions or the older iterations of Assassin's Creed. Because if I'm not happy, or if I'm not happy of what I'm seeing or what the demo is going to provide, I'm done. Because once I heard that it was the same company that helped Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I'm like, oh no. Because honestly, like I said, Odyssey for me though, it just didn't hit it. You did not feel like an assassin at all. I feel like the stealth was not all that great. Enemies always noticed you no matter what. I just think the systems provided in Odyssey weren't all that great. The only thing that made it so great is that you were just nothing but a Spartan badass. You can freaking kick enemies off a ledge or a roof or a high top of a mountain, dude, which is awesome. That's the Greek mythology way because you were able to kick your enemies off high ledges and stuff. That is what made that game great. What made that game also great was the combat. The combat was a little bit more robust from Origins. But Origins, to me, comparing that to Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla, I just felt like that Origins provided even though the systems were really not all that I wouldn't say complex, but I don't know. There was just something about the mechanics, the gameplay mechanic systems, and the stealth systems, and everything what Origins was able to provide. And like I said, I love Greek mythology, I love Norse mythology, and I love ancient Egypt. I think that these games were utterly fantastic in the setting part of the newer games that we've had in the previous years. And so I really think that feudal Japan is going to be one of the best settings in a game from Assassin's Creed. But like I said again, I'm very kind of curious of where this game is going to go in terms of any type of gameplay systems and mechanics of what this game is able to provide. So this is Jake from Citizen JV. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Any comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys later, and have a good rest of your week, and have a good upcoming weekend.